damn earthquake got to my fucking box. I ain't opened it yet. I just ripped the tape apart, but I'm hoping it's still intact in here, because if it ain't, I'm definitely getting a refund on this. I understand there was an earthquake and all that, but oh man. Damn, I paid too much for this, for it to come like this. Paid way too much for it to come like this. On today's episode, I should be getting a new look. It's not going to be complete, only because I'm going to have to paint it, but I've been waiting on that white box right there for, I don't know, about a month. Finally came in, and I'm going to just show you the box itself to start off with. So, as I drop it, as you can see, it's incredibly damaged, right? So, that should tell you a little something about the contents. With that being said, the bike may end up getting a new nickname once it gets the new look. I'll decide that once I figure out if I like it or not. But I'm gonna just jump straight in. I gotta grab some stuff so I can get started. I got my tools already right there. I'm just gonna need connectors. Yeah, just need to change connectors, but I'm gonna jump straight in. Now that I got it out the box, start by showing you what it comes with. So this is a connector that supposed to make it plug and play for a Grom, right? Before I even go in there, I'm gonna just show you this one. I'm still not done this one, so I'm gonna just give you a little sneak peek of it. So you see that, right? Cool. Jump straight over here. Now, I've already contacted the seller about the damage, which unluckily for me it came in damaged, but luckily for me it came in damaged because the seller had, I got it on eBay, the seller had it set up for no returns. So even if I did want to return it, I couldn't, right? Which honestly I didn't, but I did get a refund on it because it did come in damaged, right? So the fiberglass itself is cracked in multiple places. So the seller did apologize about the situation. Now, quick little backstory, I purchased it end of March, and a couple days afterwards there was a earthquake in Bangkok. So because of that earthquake, I was kind of waiting a little bit longer than expected to get it. Now, I was patient about the whole situation, but once the time came for it to actually be delivered, I questioned it and asked if I should just cancel it. They sent me the new tracking information because they changed shipping companies, I guess, whatever. But somewhere in the process, it got crushed. Once again, I understand it was an earthquake, so I wasn't really sweating it, but I was able to get a refund on it. So my new face is free, unfortunately, because it's damaged. Now, honestly, I'm gonna end up leaving it damaged. I'm just gonna paint this black, and the only reason why I'm gonna leave it damaged is because it's a story to tell with the bike. So I might end up calling it Earthquake. I might end up nicknaming the bike Earthquake with the new face on it. So along with the face, I had to actually order a SF bracket, so then that way I could actually mount the new face to it. So I got the SF bracket. The two holes line up right there. I already know because of that one over there. And I also got the little rubber dampers for it. Well, whatever you want to call them. But I got those for this too. So I should have everything I need to get this bolted up today. There actually is one more thing. Actually, two more things that I want to do for this. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to pull those out. Now, I'll get into these two things once I actually start to get everything tore down. So, for starters, there's a couple things I'm going to have to do I'm gonna have to take off the cover, right? I wanna have to figure out if I'm going to need to cut the inner plastic, so then that way I could actually mount this, or if I'm gonna have to remove the whole thing. I don't know. I gotta figure out some fitment things so I could keep the stock gauge with the stock mounting points up here. These top two go into the top of the triple tree, but the Grom gauge actually bolts on here, whereas the KP's bolts onto this part, which bolts up with these two bolts right here and right here. So I'm gonna just get started, see what I come up with in a minute, and I'll give y'all an update. Couple minutes, it ain't gonna take too long. So boom, right? First thing you do is you take off your light cover. It has 5 bolts in it. There's the one up top, which goes through there. There's one here, one here, one here, one there. You take this cover off, you unplug the light from the harness. The brown wire comes out of the red and white wire, which is actually going to be this double connector right here. Disconnect that, you move that off to the side, you figure out what you're gonna do with that, because you're probably not gonna use it again. Me, on the other hand, I'm probably gonna put this on my other one because of the wing. I already got it set up, whatever, cool. Now you're gonna have this all up there with all the wires. What you do is you take off the 2 8mm bolts that hold this to these 2 holes right here. You start unplugging everything and pulling everything through, so that way you can get the cover off, right? Now, I'm at the point where I'm going to actually have to loosen up the triple tree, the top one, so I could, well, that, and I got to actually loosen up the nut, so that way I could bring up the top clamp so I could get this in. So let me do that, and I'll just update y'all when I'm at that point. Boom. In case you have to, take off the handlebars. Those are 12mm nuts with the washers, right, that hold on the rubbers down bottom. Knock that off. You get the cap off. Loosen both sides, right? I just needed to come up enough to where I could fit the light under it, well, the bracket under it. So I'm not gonna take off the actual nut. I'm gonna just get this up as high as I can. That should be good. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so move this out the way. Now, where did it go? I'm gonna have to put the rubbers on it, but basically you're gonna pull the harness through the middle of the box. You don't want the harness caught under it. You want the harness pulled through the box. So let me do that, and then I'll just pull the camera back out. So if you want things to go smooth, where nothing's gonna get caught, you're gonna want to put the throttle, well, take the throttle off and the brake, so then that way you don't have to re-bleed the brake. Just take off the whole thing and then actually bring it through the box, because if you see, this is the brake hose and this is the throttle, so everything does have to sit in the center. So I'm actually about to take that off, route it through, and then I'll show y'all once everything is on. But that notch in this hole right here and this hole right here is all you need, along with the 2 that's at the bottom. Now once I get this up, then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do about this, because if I have to cut this off, I will, so I can put the gauge back on. So it's just gonna be a matter of figuring out cutting the shape of this to keep the gauge. Alright, so now I'm at the point where I'm looking at cutting things. This is just because I'm running a non-OEM light, right? So if you wanted to go from the KP setup to, let's just say, the SF ROM setup, only thing you would need is the bracket. You will probably still have to cut this off if you want to modify for your stock gauge. You're gonna have, you're gonna have to figure that part out, just because this gauge with its 4 bolts doesn't mount up here. Right now I'm about to I guess cut this off first, because I know for a fact I don't need it. So I can cut this, and then I can figure out from there where I need to go with it. So realistically, I'm looking at maybe just cutting it straight across right there, and yeah, putting it up just to see where I'm at with it. I already know none of this is gonna fit, but it's just a matter of me trying to make sure that the top part will fit before I go ahead and cut this, because I don't want to cut my only one. I only have 2 bikes and I got 1 per bike, so I don't want to cut my only one and mess it up. So I'd rather just get everything figured out first. With that being said, I did pull everything through, so nothing's going to be squished. I just have to actually lock the top clamps with a top tree, so then that way it holds the forks. And yeah, let me go grab the cutoff wheel so I could actually just get to cutting this. Okay, so let me do a recap. Did a whole lot of cutting, so I'm about to just take this off and show you everything that I did. But it's bolted up and the gauge is there. Now, does it line up? That's a different story. But I don't even care. I'll figure this part out. I will figure this part out, if anything. But for now, I'm going to leave it how it is, and I'm just going to show you what I had to do. So, for starters, I cut the line straight across, right? Cool, that ended up cutting it down here to where the keyhole is, and then I had to keep shaping and shaping. I had to go around this mount. I had to slot this so this one can come through, just in case I want to put any wires up here. Over here, I might actually be able to route this throttle cable around here, if anything, just to keep it in place. The brake hose, that just is what it is. Yeah, I'm still got to do a little bit of trimming around the corner. A part of me kind of doesn't want to do this side, only because that's where the AFR gauge is. So yeah, that's just gonna be where the fuck that's gonna be at. Yeah, I could plug the gauge back up. Next thing I gotta do is going to be actually wiring up the lights. So the 2 red and white wires that you see, that is for the halo, and then it's just the power and the ground for the actual light themselves. So contemplating on running this setup, because I got another setup that I actually got, which is right there, which, let me see if I want to go through with that. Let me see. Okay, now time for the moment of truth. Okay. Wait for it. Yeah. Now I'm curious how bright that light is going to be, because I took out the top light, which would have been a high beam. So now I only got a low beam, essentially. A low beam with an eyeball. It's funny because it's flashing on camera. I'm not seeing that same flash in person. I mean, for what it is, it looked kind of bright. I'm just going to have to figure this out. Figure this gap out right here. Figure out what I want to do with that. I'm about to actually probably cut this. This side don't really matter because that's covering it, but this side you can clearly see that, so I'm going to cut that. Shit. So I'm going to just have to paint it. Just going to have to paint it. But yeah, the KP got a new face. I'm gonna have to paint it, and I want to do turn signals on here, like how I did on here. So that way, I got the extra turn signals. So that just gave me hope about this setup because I got this one wired up in a day. So yeah, let me cut this off. See what I got there, and yeah. Still need to tune it. I haven't done anything like that yet. I was literally just doing the fucking light as of right now, and genuinely impressed. And I like the eye. It's that eye for me. So now, a question to myself is, I can always go back to the light. I have 2 more lights right there. If I want to ever swap to just the light, I can do that. But realistically, I might keep it with the eyeball, unless at night I have an issue with seeing. If I have an issue with seeing, then I'll put the high beam back on. But right now, I have no high beam. There's no flasher. So even on the gauge, it shows I flash, but I don't have an actual high beam light. High beam on turns the light off. So if I ever want my light off, just turn the high beam on. That's kind of dope. I ain't even gonna lie. That part is dope. Having my light actually off. I don't know. I still got some things I gotta do to this shit though. That's kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie. Just the halos. Alright. Well, as you can see, you can get it done in a day. You can make a Grom face work on the KP. You just need the right parts. As long as you got the right parts, you can get it done. Now, as far as getting this one, don't ask. Because this is the second one that I bought. That's the first one. When I bought that one, it sold out. That was the only one for sale. A couple months down the line, I bought this one. Only one for sale. No more. They're sold out. So don't even ask where I got it from. Because I can tell you where I got it from, but you're not going to find it. Get an SF face. Get an OG face. You might be able to try an SP face, which is the current generation Grom. But this is just proof of concept to show that if you want a different face on your KP, you can do it too. You can do it too. So with that being said, I'm going to call it a video with this one because I got something else to do on the bike and it has nothing to pertain to the lights. So with that being said, I will see y'all in the next video. I'm going to keep working, but like I said, this is it for this video. Y'all see I got it all together. I just ain't ride it, obviously, because I just put it together. And I still got a little bit of tweaking, just a little bit of, like I said, I want to get rid of that. And then, not today, but I'm going to want to figure this out. Definitely going to want to figure out this gap. So even if I use like a piece of plastic that I formed to it or something, I don't know. I'll get that covered up though. Definitely want to get that covered up. So since I got them side by side with the 2 faces, I wanted to show you what the main difference is in making them fit. This one is running just the straight bracket, right, with a different gauge cluster. So this gauge has 0 miles on it. My swap has 0 miles on it. Well, my build has 0 miles on it. So I wanted to keep this with this build. That's fine. I do have another one of these, but I didn't want to go through the process of making that one fit on here. I could have, and I could have changed the miles. Yes, I could have did that, but I opted to not do that simply because of all the wiring that I would have to do to that gauge. So I did want to keep the KP gauge, plus it also gives me the room to keep these 2 up here. So that's exactly what I did. That left me with the wide gap around here versus the slightly smaller gap over here. Right now, this is suitable because you can't really see it from the outside. This one's a different story. You look at it, you can see that, and you see it's not even centered, which I think that's just the product of this itself. I don't know why it's not exactly centered, but it's not centered. I ended up putting spacers behind both sides to make sure that they're both evenly spaced out with the bolts. The bottom one, that one sits right onto the actual bracket itself. So I ended up just putting these on the outside because I wanted to make sure that it's holding onto the bracket. These are where turn signals would go, but I just put bolts through them just so it wasn't just open holes on the face. So I didn't leave it like this basically, which honestly I might end up doing the same thing on the opposite side. Maybe, I don't know. This one has a button. This one came with a switch. So not too sure why it came with a switch and not a button, but came with a switch, which honestly I might end up using that switch on that bike for the speaker. I might use that switch for the speaker just because I got it. So it's a good thing that I got it. Yeah, with that being said though, I'll see y'all in the next one. I just wanted to show y'all the difference because I actually forgot to mention that part. Don't worry about how that one looks. This video ain't for that bike. This ain't the video for that bike. I just wanted to show you them side by side basically. Both on 14s. That's the Continental Conti Twist 120 7014, 140 7014. That's the Michelin City Grip 2s 120 7014, 140 7014. Both on 14s obviously. 220 rotors front and rear. That one got a 220 rear and a 245 up front, 4P and a P32. This one got dual radials. So, you know, things are happening. Only thing I'm gonna have to do is just paint the face because it just stands the fuck out like a sore thumb being white. I don't even mind it. That's the funny part. So realistically, what I can do is, because I got that one wired up to the KP harness and that one's wired up basically to a KP harness, I can actually take that face off and put it on that bike and test it, which I might actually do. Might not be right now, might not be in this video, I should say, but I might actually give that a shot. And realistically, I might run that one for a little bit until I paint that and get this bike running. But this is just proof of concept. At least I got it to fit. It may not look exactly the prettiest because of, you know, stuff just sticking out, but I might actually get that figured out. Who knows? But anyway, I'll see y'all in the next one, all right? Keep progressing. And I hope I motivate y'all to do something different with yours, because in the world that we live in, you want to stand out. You don't really want to fit in. See y'all in the next one. Same day, still over here. I know I done said bye twice, but I was looking at it. So see how I got this light bar on this one? I do have another light bar, but you see how I had to cut this hole in this fender? I don't want to have to cut a hole in that fender. Now realistically, I'm actually still looking at fenders for this bike specifically because I want to go with a carbon fiber fender. With that being said, I just have to figure out lifting the fender, if anything, to not rub on the wheel. This fender is bolted up in the stock locations, unlike that stock fender, which I had to actually lift. This is also a stock fender for a different bike, but I didn't need to actually mount it higher. One part of it is actually taller than another part. So there's this hump that's actually right here. So I'm looking at it like this because I don't want to cut this fender. I want to keep it intact. I'm looking at maybe getting some pod lights versus getting that style light bar. So then that way I could run them off the side and run those as my high beam, if anything. That's what I'm thinking. Or maybe even if I bolt it down somewhere around here, maybe some fog lights. I don't know. I got to figure out what I want to do with that. But realistically, I do want to keep the eye. So I'll just figure out how to keep the eye and get another light to where it all works together. Now, once again, I don't want to have to cut, but I'm going to get that figured out. It won't be today. I got to do some research to see fork fog lights, basically, or fork lights, whatever the fuck. I'm going to have to do some looking and see what I can come up with. Realistically, I would kind of want them as high as I can get it to where it's not rubbing against the oil cooler, or it's not going to hit the oil cooler. Maybe if I even put them like in here and have it like poking out the side, maybe, I don't know. That's if it's enough room on both sides, which it looks like it might just be. So maybe that'll be what I go with. I don't know. I just need to see what I can get first. But if I can go with something stealth like how I got my camera, I'm fine with that. Because you couldn't, like, I went on a ride the other day and nobody even really knew I had the camera until they started looking around. I was like, oh, what's that? And it was like, oh, wait, you got a camera? So yeah, going with a stealth look. Just everything looks like it was already there from the factory type shit. So one thing I've learned about this setup is because I don't have the second light on, whenever I hit the high beam, it turns off my light, right? So it's dark out right now. I'm gonna actually take it somewhere over there where it's actually black so I could actually see the light output, but just to show what it kind of looked like at night. And mind you, this is no light. This is just the halos. Which honestly, the halo is kind of bright. Light off because I got the high beam on, high beam off because that's low beam. High beam, low beam. So yeah, like I said, I mean, it kind of looked like it output enough light. I'm gonna take it over there where it's dark at just to see, you know, how. Look at the pink on my hand. Yes, that's pink, not purple. That's pink. All right, so light off, light on, off, on. Fairly decent. It's fairly decent. I mean, I could see what people was talking about with it. I might want to actually maybe put that one up top. That might be what I want to do. Put that one up top and then put the eyeball down bottom. But light on, light off. I can actually see those trees back there with the light. Y'all just can't see it on camera. All right. Okay. And then you can just see the pink halo. The next day after I installed this light, I just went and picked me up some paint. So I'm gonna paint this. Now, I don't recall mentioning it yesterday. Actually, no, I did mention it. So basically, yeah, this was involved in an earthquake or whatever. So honestly, I'm not gonna repair it. I'm just going to paint it. Where the black meets the white, I'm gonna tape that up so that way this black stays the black that it is. And yes, I'm going to leave it cracked. Why? Because it's a bit of a story to tell with it. Feel me? So with that being said, I am going to, I guess, jump straight in. I gotta take this off. I believe everything I need. I'm gonna just have to bring this back inside so I can wash it. Yeah, but I should have everything I need right here to knock this out today. I'm gonna just have to leave it hanging for a couple hours at least, or overnight. I'll just leave it probably overnight. I could leave this bike over here and take that one home. I ain't really sweating that. But the thing is, I'm actually gonna want this paint to come out better than the fucking wheels. Yeah. So anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna just jump straight in. So, just so you can see everything, I left the wiring harness itself stock. It's completely stock, right? This is still the original plug for the lights, which I did notice while I was actually over here yesterday that the high beam wire is actually getting hot. That wire was getting hot, so I might actually want to change the connector on there. Maybe change the whole wires. I don't know. Well, not the whole wire, but maybe I just, you know, snip it and make a new connector. That's honestly what I'm thinking as far as that goes. I know that the bulb that I did have did run hot. It did. Now, with that being said, these washers go on the inside of the top of the face. These washers go on the outside of the bottom of the face because these sit in it. That's the same thing with this. So those two bolts, you take that off, this side comes off. Same thing on the opposite side, those two covers come off. And then for here, I forgot exactly what's holding on the actual light, because I haven't taken this light off for so long. But just so you see, because I decided to stick with the stock KP's gauge, I did have to do some cutting, and there is a gap that's between it. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm actually trying to figure out what I'm gonna do about that. I'm looking into maybe just getting a piece of plastic, honestly, and just making a plate to go around it. There's gonna be some forming and whatnot to do. I'm gonna have to use a heat gun maybe, but that's gonna be the plan for that, so I could block out anything basically coming in the face. That, and it should look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, but I'm not really too worried about that. Now on this side, move this box out of my way. The bottom one is the light, the top one is the eyeball. Now, because I'm about to take it apart anyway, part of me is contemplating on checking the light up top and the eye down bottom, and also maybe switching the pink ring to the light. I don't know, and the only reason why I say that is because on that bike I got it set up the same way, where the white light is around the LED and the pink light is around the eyeball. So I want to do a little bit different, so I might end up just swapping that and putting the light up top. But on the back side, here's how it's looking. So the eye comes with its own, I forgot exactly what this is for, transmitter, if I'm not mistaken. And basically I'm supposed to be able to change the eyeballs to like 8 different colors. I just haven't attempted to do it in so long since I've been playing with that one. And I don't even remember what I did with the instructions. I just know I had the second light and it didn't even have instructions with it. I might have to check that box to see if it's still in there. Basically, the light that's actually for the halo and the eye. The halo is the pink light. Oh, wait, damn. I'm gonna have to keep the halo pink, because I kind of did. I didn't hardwire it, but I put the pink and the red together for the halo and the eye, which is both power, and I gave them both the same ground, so common ground, common power. The power from the white and the ground from the white is separate, so I ended up basically, because the KP has this red and white right here, which is for the accessory. I forgot exactly what this blue and yellow wire is, honestly. Completely forgot what that one was. But I ended up making my own double just for the headlight.
Got a nice day for him.
Hell yeah. Basically, the single goes into that one spot, and then I got the doubles going directly for the face. So this just gets unplugged from the harness. And then there is that double ground right here, which I use for the actual grounds for them. Now I'm about to take it apart. The top one, because I ended up changing the housing. This isn't the original one that came with this face. This is the original one. The ring is actually bigger than this one, so I had to put a second bolt in it. So now I'm about to take out both those bolts. Only thing is, I did put the double-sided tape on here, so I'm gonna want to be careful with that so I don't rip any fiberglass off, only because of how it's set up. So yeah, let me just take everything off so I can get the paint in this bitch. Next scene you're gonna see is this being completely taken apart. It might be scuffed up already. I don't know. I'll figure that out. Alright, so as you can see, I got the first coat of primer on it. Now I'm gonna let this sit for a couple minutes, even though this is supposed to be a fast drying primer. And let it sit for a few minutes, do what it's gonna do, come back, do coat 2. Contemplating on actually Doing the inside as, you know what, I'm gonna do the inside as well, fuck it. Second coat is done, just gotta wait for that to dry. I got the inside done. Well, second coat, that's actually about to dry too. Honestly, I'm holding it only because I don't want to put anything through the holes and mess it up. So I'm gonna hold it for a couple minutes. Just trying to figure out what I'm doing after I paint this, because I got nothing but time. I might try to tune this carb. I got to see if the jets that I have will work in it. If it does, then I'll tune the carb while this just dries, because I'm not about to sit here and wait for paint to dry. But yeah, shit's happening. Shit is happening over here. So it went from white to this already. So just wait for it. It's coming together. After 3 coats of flat black, here's what I got. So honestly, I kind of like how it looks, but then again, it looks very speckled. So realistically, it has to be sand, obviously, but I do like the flat black look with the little ruggedness to it. Got the texture a little bit. I'm gonna end up sanding it down. I don't know if I'm gonna do it today. I don't know if I have enough sandpaper. Actually, no, I don't even know if I have sandpaper. I gotta go check my other garage to see if I even have it, because honestly, I forgot to even get some for this shit. Okay. So, I mean, but yeah, this is what it's looking like as of right now. Honestly, if I want to, because it's already a fucked up piece anyway, I could just leave it alone, because yeah, earthquake. So realistically, I think I might do that. I might just leave it. I might do another coat, see if I can get it closer to flat or closer to bubbled, speckled, whatever the fuck. It's dry to the touch. I just can't dry sand it. Yeah, I can wet sand, but I can't dry sand it. Yeah, I mean, shit me. All right, back is done too. So now that's not white anymore. And did a couple things. So I'm over here tuning my suspension, because I noticed that my forks, for some reason, just stayed down. Don't know why. So over here tuning the suspension, and there was something else I was doing. There was something else I was about to do. I don't even remember, honestly. I'm doing a lot of little things while I just let that paint dry. I'm just really contemplating on just slapping it back on like that, or clear coating it, or not even clear coating it, because I wanted the flat black look. Actually, I'm gonna clear it. I'm gonna clear it, at least. I know y'all probably like, yo, man, you ain't gonna straighten that out. Did I ever say I was a professional painter? No, I didn't. I've never been good at spray painting, honestly. I mean, I've gotten a little bit better over the years. I kind of know what to do to get that flat, but question to myself is, do I feel like going through that right now? I want to just put it back together, not immediately, but I just want to put it back together and ride. But I can't. Oh yeah, that's what I did. I had to retension my chain. I knew it was something else I did. Oof, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up, right? Because I'm not saying like the chain is fucked up. I'm saying like this situation is fucked up. Why? Because here's the thing. With this tensioner, you have to be on a notch, right? So if you're not on a notch, it's liable to float. So if I go one notch forward, well, actually, no, if I go one notch back, which will push it forward, I'm gonna have too much slack. I'm not even completely on this notch, and it's tight. So it's a little bit of a give and take here. It's a little bit of a give and take. I'm gonna sit on the bike. I'm gonna see how tight the chain is, and I'm just gonna figure out if I'm gonna leave it like this, because right now it's not as tight as I had in the last video, where I literally I couldn't even get a grip on it. Like I can actually I can move the chain. I couldn't move it before. So it is still stretching. It is still stretching. Now, a question to myself is going to be, do I leave it and ride it? Or, because I'm tired of chain slapping. That's the thing. That's why I just said, fuck it, I'm going to move it. Because chain has been slapping and it has been pulling the wheel. So, I don't know. I'm going to just leave it. I'm going to leave it for a little bit. I'm going to ride it a couple miles, see how I feel about it. If I feel comfortable enough, I'm going to leave it. If I don't feel comfortable enough, it's just going to come the fuck off. It is what it is. I not come off, but it's just going to get retensioned the opposite way. I just don't want to be in the middle of the grooves for obvious reasons, because I don't know if that's actually going to lock it down. So, yeah. I need a nap, but I ain't going to even be concerned about that right now because I'm outside. So what's next on the agenda? Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. So the cheap spray paint, that's what this is. So I think this was like, I don't know, almost $3 a can. I know y'all remember them, what was it, $1 can, $2 cans that Home Depot used to have? They don't got those no more. Now they're almost $3. So this is that can, basically. And yeah, that's how it came out. So pretty sure if I went with a better quality paint, that would have came out better. But I'm on a budget, so it is what it is. I'm a little bit impatient, honestly. So what I ended up doing was I ended up just leaving the pink because of how I got it wired with the eye, and left the white with the light. Put the eye down bottom, the light up top. So now I'm hoping I get a better beam with it being up top, because when it was down bottom, it was mainly pointing directly at the ground. I also did rotate it because I noticed that the plate inside of it, instead of it being flat, at a certain point it's like this. So if you rotate it, it'll end up being down versus up or to the side. So I got it leaned to where it's, the back is at the top, so it should be pointing straight. What was I gonna say? About to go for a little ride just to see how it's feeling. I just put these on just because I wanted washers on the outside as well, and it's looking like I also didn't tape high enough, which, I mean, it just is what it is. I was already looking at repainting this shit anyway. Or actually, no, not even repainting. I'm gonna well, I gotta sand it and add another layer and shit. But yeah, no, honestly, the imperfections are what make this the piece that it is. Because once again, I might just call the bike Earthquake after this. I might call it Earthquake after this. People are like, why are you naming it Earthquake? Well, because the face was involved in an earthquake. So yeah, that's where the name came from. So this is how it looked with the black face. I got the light off right now because I got the high beam on. But as soon as I turn that high beam off, the low beam comes on. Alright, so yeah, let me just go ride it for a little bit just to see how I'm feeling about it. And yeah, I'll go from there. But realistically, I could do a better job with the painting. I think I did a good prep. It's more so the paint. Just went with cheap quality paint, that's all. But yeah, let me see how it's feeling. Come back and see what I'm gonna do next. No more pink. No more pink eye. At least for now. I might have to order another one, but yeah. This is what it looked like. That's low beam, that's high beam. Low beam, high beam. But you still see the eye down bottom. I don't know, them fucking halos is kind of bright, so you may not really be able to even see the eye, but whatever. Realistically, from afar, if you keep stepping back, it looks good. Up close, different story. I'm gonna have to redo it, but I'm not even sweating it. I kind of scuffed it up, messed it up, touched it everywhere, and it just is what it is. Like I said, earthquake. So I ain't Getting ready to go in. Gotta go walk my dog, but everything's working how it should. Still need to just start fiddling with this PWK30. Start tuning this one just so I can see what I get out of there. And yeah, that's actually about it. For the most part, everything's good. I did adjust the suspension earlier. I had to ride it back and forth just to make sure that there's actual compression and rebound, because it seemed like it just bottomed out. I don't understand it, but still want to change the fork oil on those like I did with those. So at some point I'll do that. What else was it? The chain. Yeah, I think I just gotta let that stretch some more. I think I have to. Like, I don't know. It's still some slack in it, but you know, exhaust is smelling better. It's not smelling too fuel rich. The wheels, I'm gonna have to redo these, but I'm not worried about that right now. I'm still waiting on my paint to come in for these. So once that comes in, this is what it is. This nigga just pulled up as I'm getting ready to leave. I mean, it's cool. I'm about to actually, damn, I gotta start running this store come back. It's cool. It's cool. But anyway, yeah, I'll see y'all on the next video. I know it's loud as hell next to this goddamn exhaust, but yeah, just gotta figure out this gap. That's gonna be another thing. Getting the gap figured out. And yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't know, but either way, I'll see y'all in the next episode.